Outer Banks, it's a mess, but I kind of like it. I didn't expect to like the show for some reason. I thought the show was, to be fair, I initially thought that the show it was actually a reality show for some reason. Don't blame me. I think when Outer Banks came out, I had just finished watching Too Hot to Handle or Love is Blind, one of those shitty reality shows. So I felt like, I don't know, for some reason I thought Outer Banks was a reality show, and I was like, no, we're not doing more reality shows. I can't handle reality shows. It took me a really long time to actually sit down and watch it, but I did, and I know that season 2 is gonna come out soon. I don't know when, but I know that it's gonna come out soon, so I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. Well, the other reason why I didn't watch the show sooner is because Netflix has what you say, like a reputation of canceling every single show that I enjoy. So don't blame me for having trust issues with Netflix, like seriously. Anyways, hi, my name is Sophia. What's up? If you like content about TV shows and movies, like commentary, rants, reviews, maybe you want to consider to subscribe. That's what I like to do on my channel. Sometimes I talk about influencers or whatever is happening at the moment that I feel like I want to talk about. You can also follow me on my social media. Let's get into the video. There was a comment on my video that I did about the society being cancelled. And I want to thank that person for suggesting me and recommending me to watch Outer Banks. These past few weeks, I've been struggling a little bit with mental health, and watching Outer Banks, it didn't heal my mental situation, but it brought a little bit of joy back in my life. So I wanna personally say thank you to you. I don't remember your name, I'm sorry. Anyway, let's get into this Outer Bank review slash rant. I'm also really excited to actually talk about a show that it's like from this time, because all the shows that I've talked about are from like 2015, so there's gonna be spoilers. So if you haven't watched the show, maybe don't watch this video. It's only 10 episodes. You can go and watch those 10 episodes and then come back. Sweetie, believe me, it's only gonna take you a day if you're someone like me that watched the show in literally one day. Anyway, so the show is settled in this Iceland. I don't remember the name of the island, but it's kind of in this island and follows around these 4 kids, John B, Key, JJ, and Pope. Hurricane happens and they find this thing. I don't remember what they found. I'm sorry, I watched this on Friday. I don't remember what happened, but they found something which it led John B to think that it was something to do with his dad. And from that on, the story begins. One of the things that I really enjoy about the show is that it didn't feel like I was watching an overproduced Netflix show. I don't know if you know what I mean. Like, it didn't have the same vibe as Stranger Things, has any Spanish show from Netflix, or Sex Education, The Society. Like, it didn't feel like that. It really felt, in my opinion, I don't know, it felt like it was a show from like the 2010s, like early 2010s, or even early 2000s, or at least, I don't know, that was the vibe that I got, and I really enjoyed that. I think it has something to do with the font that they use for the title. Honestly, I could have easily done that on PowerPoint. Further thing that I want to say is, why is everybody so effing hot in this show? And I also want to give props to Netflix. The actors actually look like kids. And well, John B does look like he's on his 20s. He's supposed to be 16, I don't believe that, but he does look at least not too old, so thank you Netflix for that. The rest of the characters don't actually look like they're 10 years older than they're supposed to be, so thank you. At least you did something right, Netflix. On the show, the community, the people from the Iceland are basically kind of in these 2 groups, Pokes and the Cooks. I forgot, but it's the Pokes and the other group, the Crooks, I think, I don't know. Anyway, So the story goes along with these four pokes, and here and there they have the run-ins when the crooks here and there. Something that like every character, and not only the main characters, can relate to is that all of them have some sort of daddy, mommy, yeah, like parent issue. All of them, just every single one of them has some situation with their parents. So I'm gonna start talking about the characters, I guess. Let's start with the main character, John B. I didn't like him at first, and I'm still not really sure if I actually like him. He was just your typical main character that, everything goes around him, and that's how, that's basically the main character job. Like, the story follows and goes around the main character. I get that. But just everything is about his dad, and I just, I don't know. I don't completely like John B, I guess. There's Pope. I like Pope, to be honest, but there were some times that I wasn't his biggest fan. I didn't hate him at any point, but he doesn't have a lot of money, and he wants to get a scholarship to study forensic medicine or something. He's constantly pressured by his father, to think about the scholarship and to work hard and stuff. And I feel like he's the one that I could have, well, I didn't relate to him actually, but the one that, I could see him and definitely empathize. He was the second that I empathized with the most. Then there's Key, the only girl from the group for now. She was really cool. I still don't really understand her story. I think she was a poke, and then she spent like a year or something with the cooks. I think like their parents didn't have money, and then they got money or like something along those lines. And she didn't want to be with them. She wanted to be with the pokes and all of that. So I think I wish they could have gave her a little bit more depth, or they could have gone around with her story a little bit more. Like, I feel like we spent way too many time on John B, which, okay, he's the main character, so I get it. But they also touch on Pope's like personal life and on JJ's personal life that I'm about to talk about. But I feel like on Keys, like we got a little bit about her life on the Midsummer episode, and when Sarah was introduced to the group, so we got a little bit, but I feel like we could have seen a little bit more from her. I'm looking for more Key on second season, just a little bit more about her personal life, because I really like her. And then there's JJ. So JJ was my favorite character, and the thing is, I don't know why he was my favorite character, but from the first episode, like I don't know, he was interesting to me in a way. I don't know, I feel like because he was kind of the comedian, like the comic relief from the show, so I kind of really liked him in that way. He was like the one that was making me laugh, and I feel like he had great interactions with everybody, so I don't know, I just instantly like him. And then I felt so bad for him because in my opinion he's the one that has like the saddest story. So I don't know what happened to his mom, but he lives with his dad, who is abusive. His dad is an alcoholic, obviously doesn't take care of JJ and abuses him physically, mentally. And oh my god, when the first time we saw him being beat up by his dad, I cried. I just wanted to hug JJ so bad every single time I saw him when he's sad. Then there's Sarah, and Sarah is John B's love interest. She, at the start of the show, she's one of the rich people, and she's dating Topper, who, I don't know if you know this, I realized this on like the 5th episode. He's a Disney actor. He was in this show called I Didn't Do It. I didn't watch the show, my sister did, so that's how I knew him. I don't know why I thought that was important to mention, but yeah, so she dated him and they didn't have the greatest relationship. She didn't like him, actually. It felt like they were there, like they were together just for, yeah, we're rich people, we have to date, those type of relationships that we always see on shows, yeah. So then, because John B's needed her, they kind of bond. And at first I didn't really like them together. I was like, but I don't know, I feel like the episode, I don't remember which one is, I think it's the third one, when Blah and Valerie, which are like their disguised names, I feel like they're really bonded in that episode, and I really liked it, especially when they're like changing, you know, their clothes. I don't know, I really liked that episode, and I ended up liking her towards the end, but she's still not that interesting to me. I was really happy until like the episode 9. I was really happy about the fact that Keys wasn't with any of the boys, and that there was nothing leading up to her being with any of them, and I was really happy about that. But episode 9, I think it was episode 9, that Pope was high, and he told her his feelings, that he was in love with her, and she kind of rejected him, saying like, oh no, I don't have feelings for you, I'm sorry. But then in episode 9, she kissed him. So here's the thing, I was really happy that she wasn't with any of them, and I was really worried that she was gonna be with one of them, not because of, oh yeah, I don't like any of them with her, because I don't care, but it's because that's something that always happens in every single show. You know, boy and girl can't be friends because at some point they're gonna date, and that's just something that really pisses me off on TV shows. Like, I want a TV show where the boy and the girl are just friends, or that a girl can be in a group of boys where they're just friends. And I wish that's what they were gonna do, because even John Bees kisses her in like episode 2 or something, but she rejects him and say like, oh, it's cool, it's fine, but I don't see you that way. So I was really happy for that. But then, I mean, I don't hate her and Pope. I was just kind of disappointed over the fact that they went down that road, I guess. I also want JJ to be with someone. I know he has his friends, and I'm pretty sure he knows that his friends cares about him, but I want him to find, you know, to fall in love with someone, and someone to show him that care for him, that someone loves him. You know, I want him to feel loved, and as much as, yes, his friends love him, I want him to find that also, like on a partner, whether, I don't know, a girl or a boy, I don't care. I just want him to feel loved. He did stood up for himself to his father, but I still, you know, I don't know, I want someone to be there for him. I guess that's what I want. I don't know. Also, something that I want to know is that, so the thing with the father, which I think I didn't explain. So John B's father, there's this thing about a gold in the town that was kind of hidden, and John B's dad, they call him Big John, he was trying to look for it, and he kind of teamed up with Sarah's dad called Ward. So they're kind of trying to find it, because Big John had, you know, had everything planned out, but he didn't have the money, and Ward had the money, so they kind of forcefully team up, and something happens in the boat, and kind of they get into like a little fight. They get like in an argument, and Ward literally pushes him, and Big John gets an injury on his neck, and Ward has, you know, a corrupt rich guy. He dumped Big John's body under the water, and then he basically went off and went back to the place, saying that he disappeared. And at this point, like, everybody thought that he disappeared. Big John didn't die. He left something there. I don't remember, but he left something there. So they're trying to find out what happened to Big John. Obviously, Ward lied and just faked everything, but they're trying to find out, the police trying to find out, the Pogues are trying to find out what happened, because John B doesn't want to accept the fact that his dad died, because the body was never found. So the sheriff, I don't remember her name, but I do remember her name in the 100, which is Indra from Trick Group. She has been suspicious about Ward having something to do with the Big John disappearance, and she even said that she figured that he did it and why he did it, but she didn't know how he did it. So she was talking to this woman, I don't remember her name, but she's talking to this woman who basically tells her how everything happened, because she heard it from her husband, who was talking with the war, trying to figure everything out, how to fake everything. So the detective finds out that what that happened. War, this is so messed up. Like, I'm so horrible explaining things. So I'm gonna explain again how everything is happening, because I feel like I just literally lost the whole storyline. So from the first episode, John B and everybody found like a hint, a hint that his dad was probably still alive. So they're trying to figure out everything, they're trying to find everything. So that's basically what they're doing, and they found out about the gold, so they're trying to find where the gold is. Kind of has to follow up what Big John started and them finishing it. Ward, since Sarah, who's Ward's daughter, was involved in that because she started having a relationship with John B. So John B obviously involved her in everything. So Ward heard John B and Sarah talking about the gold, and Ward kind of he doesn't want anyone to find out, especially John B, what happened to his father. So Ward takes matter into his own hand and find the gold. And well, no, actually the kids find the gold, but since Ward again is a rich guy, rich dude, he has connections everywhere, he has friends everywhere, they tell him what the Pokes found. So long story short, he is in a plane and forcing Sarah to come to the Bahamas with him, and all the gold is on the plane. So he's trying to fly away, run away to the Bahamas and do whatever he was, and I actually don't know what he was gonna do in the Bahamas, but basically run away, I guess. So there we go, now we're in the plane. John B finds out about that. He initially, everybody thought that Sarah kind of sold them out and that she was with her father trying to escape, but then John B realizes that that's not what is happening. He sees that the father is forcing Sarah to go into the plane. So John B has a hero, I guess. He goes up to them and tries to force the father, Ward, to stop the plane, which he does. And lucky for everyone, but hey, don't get too excited, the sheriff, Indra from Tree Group, tries to arrest him. But to everybody's surprise, no one knew this, but Raph, who is Sarah's older brother, he was there with a gun. He shot the sheriff right when Ward was trying to get out of the handcuffs and the sheriff was holding the gun. She gets shot, she eventually dies in the hospital. So Ward, since he has friends, he tells the deputy that it was actually John B who shot her, and obviously no one believes John B. Everybody believes Ward because, again, he has connections everywhere, he's a rich guy. What are you gonna do? You can't stand up for him. You either believe the kid or you believe him, and they never really gave a chance for John B to tell his story. Something I want to mention about Raph is that the reason why he shot the sheriff was, he was upset about the fact that the dad showed Sarah that Sarah was the favorite daughter when he was basically the perfect child. He was, he knew about the business, Sarah didn't. He was kind of hurt and he was jealous over the fact that his dad shows Sarah. So he shot the sheriff, and what he kept saying is that I saved you, I was trying to protect you, I protected you. So he was doing basically everything for his dad. His dad is a son of a bitch, and he shot the sheriff just to save his dad, which is kind of sad. But I can see why his disturbed, manipulated mind will do that. He just wanted to make his dad happy, and he thought that he was doing the right thing. Since John B is trying to get out of everything, he gets on a boat that was JJ's father's, and he's in the boat with Sarah, and there's this storm. Everybody's trying to find them. There's the SBI, which I guess is their version of FBI, I don't know. So they're all trying to find him, and there's a part of them. There's a part in the last episode where they're surrounded, John B and Sarah, they're surrounded by all the boats. So the only option was to go through the storm. So while all of that is happening, John B managed to talk to them through the radio, to the police, to the radio, because Ward is talking through the radio to Sarah to tell him that please come home and stuff. Putting an act of John B kidnapped her or anything. So John B tells a real story through the radio about that Ward killed his father, and he tells a real story. And so at the end, like, the police kind of they believed him and they were gonna arrest him, but the show kind of ends over there. They're still going through the storm, and obviously they couldn't find them because of the storm. And while all of that is happening, there's JJ, Pope, and Keys, like they're there because they were caught, but they weren't arrested or anything because they didn't have handcuffs. So they were like waiting to see news, to either what is going on. And oh my god, this broke my heart. Like, I literally cried. I was on my 3rd day of my period, so that's my excuse for crying in this scene. Kid's parents and Pope's parents come up, and Kid's parents hug Keys and Pope's parents hug Pope, and there's JJ. Obviously his father didn't show up, so it's really, really sad because they're all with their families and they're being and hugging them, comforting them, and JJ's just there like he has no one, basically. I mean, Pope's dad realized that and they hug him, basically. But I cried so much. And another thing about the show is that I literally felt bad for every single character at some point. Like, even at Raph, like, I felt bad for Raph. Like, I see why he did everything. It's still the show is really intriguing, to be honest. It's a big mess. I mean, I'm not good at explaining things, so when there's something that is already kind of complicated to explain, I'm just a mess, and the show is kind of a mess. So I'm sorry for this rant review because I'm just all over the place. I'm really, really sorry. But I really enjoyed the show. I really, really did. It was really interesting. Like, the first time in a really long time that I've been so into a show. I'm watching a show while I'm scrolling through Instagram or Twitter. So, the fact that a show really hooked me up and I was like watching it all the time and I didn't want it to end, it speaks really highly for a show, in my opinion. It's not my favorite show. I don't think I can say that it's my favorite show because the first season was really, really good. I want to see how season 2 is gonna be like. It has happened many times where I thought that a show was really, really good on season 1, but then season 2 and so on became really bad. I think that's all I have to say about the show. Oh, the parents. So let's talk about the parents' relationship. I mean, I can't really talk about John B's parent relationship. I already mentioned JJ's relationship with his father, but Keys' relationship. So here's the thing with Keys. It was in the episode of Midsummer when we actually got to see her mom and kind of her point of view. Her mother said that she did everything for Keys, for her to grow up the way she grew up. So in a way, I kind of see her mom, like, she was just doing her best for her daughter. She wanted her daughter to, grow up the same way that she did, to have the same chances that she had. So I don't know, I can't really blame my parents for doing what they can and giving everything that they can for their kids, So I'm not calling Keys ungrateful. Like, I think both point of view, both opinions are completely valid. And then there's Pope's relationship with his father. So his father, I don't really know what he works on, but his father doesn't really like the fact that he hangs out when JJ, John B, and Keys. He wants him to be centering his, in school, think about the scholarship, to work really hard. He wants him focused on, get out of the town, get out of this life, and for him to have a better life, which I also really understand. There was also in an episode where his father tells him that he was gonna work for Ward to help him out in something, which later on they found out that it was for the gold because they were gonna go to Bahamas. Pope's get mad at his dad because he's working for war, but like I kind of see his dad point of view, because you know his dad needs money, they need the money to survive. So his dad is just doing, you know, he saw an opportunity to get money, and even if he has to work for that dude, money, I don't want to say money's everything, but money does make life a little better. So he was just, you know, he was just trying to do his best, and I don't hold it against him. And again, I'm not saying Pope is being ungrateful, just both point of view are valid. I think I'm gonna leave the video right here. I'm really looking forward to season 2, which I don't know when it comes out. I hope it comes out late 2020, but I don't know. So yeah, that is all. Please let me know down your thoughts about the show, if you watched it and if you enjoyed it, and consider to subscribe to my channel, give it a thumbs up, and follow me on my social media. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.